The 7 deadly sins are pride, envy, wrath, sloth, greed, gluttony, and lust. Have you ever heard a more concise description of leftism than that?
Legislation will never solve our problems.
The Moline-Coal Valley School District is receiving backlash tonight after a flyer for an after-school Satan club at Jane Addams Elementary School began circulating online. But a 2001 U.S. Supreme Court decision says it's all a matter of free speech. And as News 8's Jenna Webster now explains, it's actually one group's point that they have just as much right to be there as another group. It's new tonight on News 8 at 10.
It's a flyer with an eye-catching statement. Hey kids, let's have fun at After School Satan Club. The club is new to Jane Addams Elementary School, and it's caused some controversy online. Facebook comments saying this proves just how lost our country is. This world is going to hell in a handbasket, and the name is disturbing, doesn't scream let me send my child, while some are calling for the principal and school board to be fired. But despite what the name might imply, the Satanic Temple says the club's not actually about promoting worship of the devil.
This actually isn't a club that's meant to proselytize Satanism or even engage in discussions about religious opinion.
Lucian Greaves is the co-founder of the Satanic Temple. He says the club is an alternative to the Christian Good News Club, also offered at Jane Addams. That's a program run by the Child Evangelism Fellowship, saying it's designed to bring the gospel of Christ to children on their level in their environment.
So we thought it would be nice to offer some people an alternative from that kind of horrific indoctrination program.
He says students will do science or art projects, and it's supposed to promote critical thinking. But at the end of the day, the Moline-Coal Valley School District is required to provide equal access to all groups.
There's no point in calling up the principal. There's no point in calling up the superintendent and berating them for allowing us in. It's the Supreme Court, and it's our constitutional liberties that allow us to be there.
And the Satanic Temple has no plans to leave. In Moline, Jenna Webster, WQAD, News 8.
The district says it's simply following the rules. Moline-Coal Valley schools emphasize no district teachers are involved with the club. Flyers for the club were placed in the Jane Addams lobby, which is what's required of the district. It's also saying if it were to deny the after-school Satan Club, it would open the district to a discrimination lawsuit that they say it would not win. And parents are also required to sign a permission slip for their child to attend.
Well, in case you're wondering if it's really a spiritual war we're watching, here's this news story. The Illinois Elementary School is offering an after-school Satan Club. The local school district is defending the Satan Club. It's sponsored by the Satanic Temple of the United States. The club claims it will help kids learn benevolence and empathy as well as, quote, personal sovereignty. We're going to the source on this story. Lucian Greaves is with the Satanic Temple and joins us tonight. Mr. Greaves, thanks so much for coming on. So I have to ask, are parents complaining that there's an after-school Satan Club at their children's school?
Some are, but they don't have to send their children to the program. It's available for parents who do want to send their children to the program, and it's there as an alternative to religious clubs that are made to proselytize to children. Ours doesn't include items of religious opinion. It doesn't include indoctrination. It just has a self-directed learning program with trained educators there to help guide the children through different activities and projects that they want to engage in.
Where are the Satan Club's trained educators trained? Is there a Satan School of Theology?
No, we've got educators who have volunteered with us. We vet them. We do the criminal background checks that aren't required of after-school clubs and haven't been required of any of the religious clubs because we want to be responsible about this. And we make sure that they understand the curriculum, they understand what we want to do in this program, and that they're able to execute that.
So, I love your use of the word execute. Have any school administrators said, look, I know you can lecture me about religious freedom, but you're a Satan Club, but we're not going to let little kids go to the Satan Club. Is anybody, or are they just passive like everyone else in America and kind of letting it happen?
Well, that's not being passive. That's understanding what the law is. That's understanding what the Constitution is. That's understanding what free speech is and what religious liberty is. And there's a lot of people who express a lot of uproar about this, and they go to the school board, they complain to the principals, they complain to the superintendent. But a school board cannot overturn the Supreme Court, and
well,
there's
actually,
no point in harassing them.
So could there be an I Hate Gays club or black people are inferior club? And the answer, of course, is no, because the community, and I'm not advocating for either one of those things, but the community has some say in what its kids are exposed to on government property, i.e. a public school. So you're just telling me that everyone's just kind of going along with it because Supreme Court.
Well, the Supreme Court allowed in religion. They said that not having religious clubs would be religious discrimination. I disagree. I think you can categorically deny religion, but what you can't do is give the government the opportunity to pick and choose between which religious viewpoints they'll allow and which ones they won't.
They do all the time. I mean, you can be suspended from school for quoting portions of the Old Testament, like immediately. You could be. I mean, I'm trying not to use profanity on the air, but what you're saying is ridiculous. We both know it's ridiculous, and I just want to be really clear on this, because to me it's another example of people just sitting back and being like, oh, I guess I have to. You know, let's have their drag time story hour for fourth graders like that. You know, I can't say anything. And you're confirming that everyone feels that way. They kind of have to go along with it for some reason.
Well, people get upset about it, people like you, and they don't reconcile their viewpoints on free speech and religious liberty. I don't know what you're suggesting. I don't know if you're suggesting if the school board should say, no, this is not allowed, and we're going against the Supreme Court ruling that says
what I'm saying is you ought to be allowed to quote the New Testament out loud in school. If we're going to apply the standard, which I suppose I'd be happy to live under, we have to apply it equally, but it's not applied equally, as you know. And I suppose, have you been in touch?
I don't know the New Testament story you're speaking of, but we would defend anybody's right to practice their religion, and we're not asking for other religious clubs to be taken out.
Look,
we're
I'm not
asking
even
for equal access.
Right, and I'm just saying the school would not provide that if it were an expression of Orthodox Christianity, as you know. But Lucien Graves, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stand up.